These are the worst Space Marine legions to be a member of in Warhammer 40k. Number 5, Lamenters. If you've ever felt like nothing goes right for you, congratulations, you could be a Lamenter. Their bad luck is a genetic level curse, and every member feels it personally. The Lamenters are a loyalist chapter descended from the Blood Angels whose Primarch Sanguinius was killed during the Horus Heresy, a galaxy-splitting civil war 10,000 years ago. Blood Angel successors inherit two curses from that death: the Red Thirst, a vampiric hunger from blood, and the Black Rage, a psychic flashback that makes Marines believe they're Sanguinius fighting his last battle. The Lamenters were specifically engineered by Imperial Genesmiths to remove both. Instead, they got a new one. Every Lamenter operation goes wrong. Warp storms, disturbances in the alternate dimension starships used for faster-than-light travel, hit their fleets. Allies get called away the day before an assault. Enemy reinforcements arrive at exactly the wrong moment, and every Lamenter knows this. You walk into every deployment knowing something impossible is about to go sideways. You plan around it, the contingency still finds a way to be worse. Other chapters know too. They refuse to fight alongside Lamenters because proximity seems to catch their luck. So you go into every war knowing nobody wants you there because you're literally contagious. And the tragedies land on the members. At Slaughterhouse 3, the chapter rescued 3 million slaves from an empire of orcs, a race of savage green alien warriors, then had to destroy the planet from orbit because civilian volunteers held the line to buy them escape time. Every surviving Lamenter had to live with the fact that unarmed civilians died voluntarily so superhuman warriors could escape. They refused a medal for that one out of grief. During the Bad War, a conflict between Space Marine chapters, the Lamenters sided with a rebel chapter on principle, got ambushed, got broken, and were sentenced to a 100-year penitent crusade during which they weren't allowed to recruit. Every brother killed was a permanent subtraction. You watch your numbers shrink every deployment and knew there was no scout company filing in behind you. Then Hive Fleet Kraken, another alien swarm, hit them mid-crusade. Afterward, a census found 3 companies left where there had once been 10. And here's the final joke. The Black Rage, the curse they were founded to cure, is manifesting anyway. The Lamenters are now forming death companies. Squads of Marines lost to that psychic madness, while still banned from recruiting replacements. Chapter Master Malachim Foros holds back his own Black Rage through pure will. The Sisters of Battle, the Imperium's warrior nuns, wept when they re-sanctified the chapter banner after one disaster. They named it the Banner of Tears. Nobody suggested a better name. Number 4. Space Wolves. Imagine your own DNA trying to turn you into a werewolf, every day of your life, for however long you live. The Space Wolves are a loyalist legion founded by Leman Russ, their Primarch, who vanished into the Eye of Terror, a massive rift in reality where the war bleeds through 10,000 years ago. Their home world is Fenris, an ice planet that periodically cracks open and floods half its own landmass. Recruits come from Fenrisian tribes, which already select heavily for people who can survive being punched in the face by their own planet. The real problem is the Canis Helix. It's the first genetic implant every recruit receives, a cocktail drunk from a ceremonial cup called the Cup of Wolfen. The Helix is Russ's own genome, which was wolfish to begin with. When a recruit drinks it, he triggers an immediate violent transformation. Bones crack and reshape, fur sprouts, his mind reverts to predator state, and he runs into the wilderness as a quadrupedal beast to survive the change. If he comes back still functional, the chapter gives him the remaining 18 implants, which stabilize the transformation. Most recruits don't come back. Here's the nightmare part. Stabilization isn't permanent. The Canis Helix can reactivate hundreds of years later. Mid-battle, a veteran space wolf can simply lose it, collapse onto all fours, grow claws, lose language, become a wolfen. The Wolfen are still brothers, technically, but they're not people anymore. The chapter has an entire command structure built around managing them. The failed successor chapter, the Wolf Brothers, collapsed almost immediately because every member succumbed. For most of Space Wolf's history after that, there were no successor chapters at all, because nobody wanted to repeat the experiment. The geneticists looked at Wolf Brothers and said, well, that's enough of that. Recently, during the Ultima founding, a new wave of Space Marines created after the galaxy split in half, a handful of Space Wolf successors finally appeared. Chapters like the Wolf Spear and the Ice Fangs, all Primaris Marines, an enhanced generation supposed to fix every chapter's flaws. And even they still succumb to the Canis Helix. Bjorn the Fell-Handed, a Marine from Russ's own era, sealed inside a dreadnought that's a walking combat tank used to preserve mortally wounded Marines, gets woken up once a century so the chapter can listen to the last voice that personally knew their lost Primarch. Everyone else just hopes they don't wake up as a wolf tomorrow. Number 3. Iron Warriors. Most legions worry about enemies killing them. Iron Warriors worry about their own squad mates executing them before breakfast. The Iron Warriors are a Chaos Space Marine Legion, meaning they turned traitor during the Horus Heresy and now serve Chaos. The corrupting dark gods that live inside the warp. Their primarch was Perturabo, a cold, paranoid genius who specialized in siege warfare and was deeply insecure about his legion's reputation. To improve morale, he instituted the Edict of Decimation. After any operational failure, 1 in 10 surviving Marines are selected by lottery. The other 9 kill them with their bare hands. Not in combat, not with honor, with their hands. The practice is still ongoing 10,000 years later. Every Iron Warrior has either participated in a decimation, been on the lottery list and survived, or is owed a debt by someone who has. Rank within the Legion is inherited primarily through successful fratricide. Most current warsmiths, that's the senior commander rank, achieve their position by murdering a predecessor. Once you've climbed the ladder, your entire life is watching your back because every subordinate is auditioning for your job, and the audition is lethal. Perturabo himself stopped trusting Space Marine bodyguards after an assassination attempt. His current honor guard is the Iron Circle. Robots he built himself because robots don't have ambitions, that's your Primarch's opinion of you. Daily life on their homeworld, Medron Guard is industrial siege labor on a world of lava and iron fortresses. Flesh gets progressively replaced with metal, their motto is iron within, iron without, and they mean it literally. Captain Foryx, one of the Legion's oldest warriors, has been fighting for 10,000 years and openly believes he means nothing to the gods he serves. He keeps fighting anyway, there's nothing else. Number 2, Exorcists. A loyalist chapter decided the best way to teach its members how to fight demons was to put a demon inside each one personally, on purpose, as initiation. The Exorcists are a loyalist Space Marine chapter. Officially, they're listed as descendants of Rogel Dorn's gene line, but they share nothing in common with its other successors, so paperwork is probably a cover story. Their real purpose is fighting demons, malevolent entities from the warp, and the chapter decided the best way to produce demon hunters is first-hand experience being a demon. Initiation works like this. A fresh recruit from the feral world of Banish passes standard Space Marine training and the 19 genetic implant surgeries. Then he's taken to the Halls of Tempering. A minor warp entity is summoned and bound onto his body. He's now a demon host, a living prison for a demon. He stays one for at least 12 hours, sometimes several days. During that time, he's fully conscious, watching from the back of his own skull while the demon uses his hands and mouth. Then the chapter's chaplains, that's the warrior priests, perform the exorcism. They recite the 666 verses of the Liber Exorcismus, the chapter's holy book, to cast the demon out. Failure rates are so high that the chapter runs 12 companies instead of the standard 10, with the extra 2 dedicated entirely to raising replacements. Survivors remember everything, lucidly, and they keep developing physical stigmata for the rest of their careers. Patches of scales, small horns, rune scars that appear overnight, eye color that shifts. These have to be surgically cut out into rites called orisons, during which the Marine is made to relive the memory of his possession. Anesthetic doesn't really work for it. Initiates whose possession can be purged get stored on a secret prison craft called the Purgatorium. They've been screaming for roughly 5,000 years. The chapter occasionally uses them as storage for demons cast out of other brothers. If the Imperium ever found out, the Exorcists would be declared traitors overnight. Nobody in this chapter has clean sleep. They know what's in hell because hell has been in them. Number 1, Emperor's Children. Every other legion has some version of, if I just get through today, tomorrow might be bearable. Emperor's Children don't get tomorrow. They get less feeling than today, and more desperation. The Emperor's Children are a Chaos Space Marine Legion devoted to Slanesh, the Chaos God of excess and sensation. The Primarch Fulgrim betrayed the Imperium during the Horus Heresy after being possessed by a demon bound inside a sword. His chief apothecary, Fabius Bile, rewired the entire Legion's nervous system so pain routes into the brain's pleasure centers. It seemed like a gift at first, getting shot felt like joy, every battle was ecstasy. Then the nervous system started burning out. After centuries of self-surgery, flaying, and drug cocktails, bile distilled from human captives. Ordinary stimuli register as nothing. Yesterday's climax is today's numb baseline. A Marine at this for a few decades needs something extreme to feel alive. A Marine at it for millennia needs to watch a planet die. The endpoint is the Noise Marine, an Emperor's child so far gone that his entire personality has been replaced by addiction to sonic stimulation. Their codex description is blunt. They cease being human and become a receptacle for the sounds of agony and death. Their weapons fire weaponized sound waves loud enough to liquefy flesh, and they only feel normal when firing them. And then there's Lucius the Eternal. Lucius is a champion of Slanesh, one of the Legion's own, who literally cannot die. Anyone who kills him and feels even the slightest pride about it is biologically transformed into Lucius's new body over a few days. The killer's consciousness is trapped forever as one of more screaming face on Lucius's armor. Lucius himself wakes up in the killer's body and keeps going. Lucius is on his 1,000th body or so by now, and his sanity erodes with every new one. So this is what being an Emperor's child looks like. Your nervous system progressively burns out until the only thing that still feels real is slaughter. The end state is a noise marine whose personality has been replaced by addiction to sonic violence. And for the unlucky few who duel Lucius and win, there's that specific hell waiting on top. No retirement either way. Well, that's the list. 5 legions that make regular Space Marine service look like a vacation. Thanks for watching, and remember, in the grim darkness of the far future, your own brothers might be the worst thing trying to kill you.